Hello and welcome to Your Holistic Earth podcast. My name is Kimberly Carson-Richards and I am your host today. I am so excited on this episode. We are going to have Jenny Ryce, certified executive coach. But first, let me tell you about Your Holistic Earth. Your Holistic Earth is the bridge that connects you to local and national experts in the field of holistic medicine. On each episode of this podcast, we are going to bring experts that are going to help you be healthier and have an increased sense of well-being. So Jenny, I'm so excited. Let me introduce you because you have like an amazing list of accomplishments. So Jenny is a certified executive coach and ACC accredited coach through the International Coach Federation. The diversity of Ryce's business and professional life experience has afforded her dynamic opportunities to educate, support, and coach professionals from all backgrounds with polarized perspectives that has led to her mindset and resilience focus. Jenny, I am so excited to have you here. We had a little bit of a conversation before this podcast, and I know you were going to bring a wealth of information to everyone that is listening or watching today. So let's get deep. Let me ask you some questions and let's get into this. So
Sounds good.
Tell me about the coaching you do and how you help people. So people really understand, like a lot of people, we talked about this, they kind of hear this word coaching and there's lots of different types of coaching. So share with people how you help them with your modality and your type of coaching.
I would love to. So there are different frames of coaching, and I think it becomes a really blurred line. And so it's super important. My modality of coaching is non-directive. And what that means is we really hold the person, the coachee, capable of creating solutions. So my job as a coach is to come into that conversation and really actually ask thought-provoking and deep pulling questions, which can be a little overwhelming sometimes. So we only go as fast as the person that we're having the conversation with is ready to dig in. And it takes time for people. Sometimes, when you hear hard questions, it's a place that's so safe and people aren't used to having conversations where they feel safe and open and protected. If you're a CEO in an office and you're asked a question and you don't know, most CEOs are uncomfortable asking for help because it's going to give this illusion that maybe they're not good at what they do. So in a coaching conversation, they feel really safe to have those, maybe fear-based conversations or roadblock conversations. But what's great in a really non-directive coaching conversation is we co-create solutions together that's designed by the coachee. And what's amazing about that, how many of us get homework or had homework in high school that we never wanted to do? It's because we were told we had to do it. So if you're getting into that relationship again with a coach where they're telling you what to do all the time, you're not actually expanding who you are or changing your way of being. So that's why I really believe in the non-directive modality of coaching. So coaching's super interesting because people are starting to lean into the understanding and the value of coaching. But what has happened, originally when it first came out is people were afraid of coaching because, again, what do you mean I need support? You tell me one Olympic athlete out there that didn't have a coach in their corner, supporting them, helping them through challenges, giving them the cheerleading when they needed it, but also having the hard conversations when it was necessary. And we're seeing that in the business world and the value of having somebody that has a different perspective, non-biased perspective, and actually no personal interest. If that, that's valuable. When you have somebody you can talk to and share everything with that isn't actually trying to get your job, you feel a lot safer and controlled. So that's the type of coaching modality that I stand in. And I have, it's so amazing when you get to see people move past barriers and things like that.
Yes, I love that so much. And so we talked about, I started my career as an entrepreneur in mindset coaching. And so you're speaking my language. I love when you were talking about co-create. So what I would love to know, what do you think are some common myths about coaching or misconceptions that people might have? Or the questions they ask you when you talk to people about coaching for the first time?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. So the first thing is they want us to tell them exactly what to do. And I understand that because I just want someone to be my boss and tell me what to do. I totally get it. But again, like I said earlier, that doesn't build strength. It doesn't change and give you the skills to move forward. So it's really important that when you work with a coach, that you're the one driving the coaching process. And having said that, that doesn't mean you're just having a solid, it's not like having a conversation at the beach. These are focused, directed conversations that have desired outcomes. So, it's really important to get on board with the process. This is not a quick fix. I really want to encourage people to realize there's no fad out there that fixes things. It's all about the work that it takes to get there. And, we see people go on yo-yo diets and, not that dieting's wrong, but you've got to stick with the diet for it to become a lifestyle. So that's why coaching is really important. We were talking earlier, I said, my job is, ironically enough, my business model is to work my way out of working with clients. And from a financial point of view, that seems kind of crazy. But if I'm doing a really great job with my clients, if we are moving past where they need to be, then I'm doing my job. If somebody's telling you what to do, it creates a codependency, and that's really not a healthy coaching relationship. A coach should be somebody that's pushing you up, not holding you tight. So yeah, be super clear on that.
I love it. Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things, I think, when it comes to mindset, absolutely, is like tools. People having tools to be able to deal with the things that come up. We were talking about, especially for anyone that's watching that's an entrepreneur, or someone in a high pressure situation. I remember coming from corporate, when you don't have the tools, that's when you start to become overwhelmed and stressed out, and it bleeds over into all areas of your life. And you were speaking about how, you think something may be a work problem, but it's actually like an inside job that you need to like do a little bit of work on. But I love the ease that people get and like the increased happiness when you're willing to like put in the work to get yourself to that next level through coaching. So tell me, I would love to know, Jenny, like an obstacle you've overcome that you think makes you a better coach to help people.
Oh my gosh.
I know, pick one. Just one.
Let me just think. Okay. So, one of my personal backgrounds is I'm a military wife. And there's nothing more diverse than being a military wife. Like we talked about earlier, I have one child that lived in 3 different provinces within 2 years. The resilience and the mindset that it takes to evolve and adapt to new environments, new career. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. My background is the beauty industry. So I've had to rebuild my business every single time we've moved. So that in itself has given me that foundation that anything's possible if I do the work, and anything's possible if I make myself extremely uncomfortable and step in. If it's worth doing, it's hard. Let's be real. Usually the easy way out is not the best pathway for us. We don't grow, we don't learn. And so being a military wife, that's just that small personal piece that's evolved where I've been. And I think what that's done is taught me that mindset is the key to everything. It gives you the fuel to make anything possible. And when I say that, I genuinely mean that. It's your choice. Your mindset is the driver of everything that happens to you in the day that you are in control of. Yes, you can't control what's happening that's coming into you, but you can control using your mindset and just powering yourself with your mindset on how you receive it and how you react to it and how you respond to it. So just that small piece, I guess it's not really a small piece. I've been married to my husband for 26 years. Oh my gosh. I love that I don't even know. I think it's 26 years. that small piece, which actually is a huge portion of my life, those are monumental things that help build us who we are. So I always tell people it's not about the goal. It's about who you become along the way as you get to that goal. So mindset is the pivotal portion of that.
Love it. And you know, it's so interesting. I've had this conversation over and over with people. It's like we build habits where like you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth and you brush your hair and right, and we bathe and we pick out our outfit. But most people don't have a healthy habit of like looking after what's going on up here. And that's the driver of everything. It's the driver of how you feel through the day. And I really think that for a lot of people, that's the gap. And I love that you're talking about like mindset's the fuel, right? That like it really, when you put in that work on it, it does allow you to achieve and accomplish really incredible things in your life, even just from an emotional perspective of like going through your day with more ease and calm. So that's so cool. I love that you touched on that. And I completely agree. So for anyone watching, if you do not have a mindset practice built into your day, that's something I want you to consider right now. And on that, do you have like any quick tools that you love to share with people or recommend just to start building that habit into their day?
Absolutely. So, you know, it's so interesting. This is the most powerful tool we have, right? It drives all of our decisions. It makes us do good things and bad things. And it's the least trained tool that we have. We train on policies, we train on procedures, we train on equipment, whatever it is in our world, but our mind is the last thing we flourish, right? It's the last thing we nurture. So I don't care what you do, as long as you change the game throughout the day. So set a timer in your phone, right? Pick up your phone, put a timer in it. At the maximum, every 90 minutes, I want you to change your location. And that sounds crazy. So I work in a home office. I've worked in a home office for 3 or 4 years. Every 90 minutes, I change my scenery. So I'll walk upstairs, and usually this is when my sugar craving starts. So instead of grabbing chocolate chips, choice, right? Train the brain, habit. I grab an orange, or I grab something that, you know, maybe a handful of raisins, something to get a little bit of sugar, but it's natural sugar. So change the scenery. Step back, do a 1-minute meditation. Please, you don't have to be like this masterful yoga person. Stop and breathe just for 1 minute and but get away from where you are. So just those 2 little things will actually change your energy for the day. I mean, don't get me going. I'll tell you. Okay, I can tell you this one and this one and this one and this one. But those are the 2 simplest, easy things that anybody can do. Get outside, walk around your block. And what's interesting is people think, oh, that takes too much time. If you take 5 minutes every 90 minutes, you increase your productivity because you are refocused and centered. If you check yourself every 90 minutes, I bet you start digging into your Instagram. You might be looking at your emails. I'll say that to myself. Oh, I'm hiding in my emails. Got to get up. So it's creating that awareness. And eventually you start becoming aware that you're doing it. And so sometimes I have to get up in 60 minutes, right? But set a timer in your phone so it reminds you. And then that's a really good tip.
Love it. Love it. I'm gonna do that actually. I have a lot of good habits. I have a lot of bad habits. So I'm gonna like start setting my timer. That's really good actually. Cause I do sometimes, even though I do Pomodoro method, so I do short bursts of like working, I don't get up away from my desk enough. So that's actually a really, really good tip. I love that. So what do you think? Is there anything I should have asked you, but I didn't?
Ooh, that's tricky. You know, in reference to mindset and ourselves, it's so important that we change the way we feel about our capabilities. And if I can leave everybody with one thing today, stay curious in your life. You know, stay curious when you work with people, because if you provide yourself a place to be a learner, and again, this is part of mindset, it's so important that if you don't know, how can you know? You get a job promotion, you're new in a position. How can you know what that job position holds if you don't ask for help? So stay super curious in your life and provide the space for others to do the same. And that is going to be the most, if anybody can take anything from our conversation today, stay curious with your kids, stay curious with your family, stay curious with your employees, your employer, all those kind of things. Because if you stay curious, it's about discovery. It's not about failure. And that is a really powerful, just be curious. Make yourself a science experiment. It's way more interesting than talking to yourself internally about how terrible you are because you didn't do a good job. How about, now, if I'd done it differently, what would it have looked like? You know?
Love it.
Yeah.
Our brain can be our biggest bully.
Right? It's so true. Oh, again, we don't have enough time, but we could talk about that for hours.
Yeah, we probably could do a whole episode just talking about that. Okay, so let's wrap it up with a fun question. Room, desk, and car, which do you clean first?
Room, desk, or car?
Yeah.
Ooh. I would say my desk.
Love it.
Yeah. Because this is where the magic happens. I'm for those of you that are just hearing this and not seeing it, I'm like putting my arms over top of my desk right now. This is where the magic happens. Yeah. It's my throne.
Love it. Yeah. Can I say none? I don't like cleaning.
I don't either. And actually, my car, that's the one place that doesn't get messy. So that was an easy one. So it was a room of mine.
I wish I had that kind of respect. Love it. Okay, so how can people get connected with you, Jenny? I know everyone's going to love you. So how can they connect with you if they want to learn more about what you do or how you can help them or anything like that?
All the things. Okay, so the easiest way is go to my website. It's my name, and it's www.jennyryce, spell R-Y-C-E. So that's going to be the only difference for people.com. Okay. So check me out there, or you can always follow me on Instagram at Jenny Ryce Coaching, or Facebook, and that again is Jenny Ryce Coaching. So you can message me through that, and you'll be able to find my additional contact information. Giving you my email and all that right now is way too confusing. Nobody's writing that fast, let's be real. So, but yeah, just follow me on social media and reach out. I'm always available. I'd love to connect.
Love it so much. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for being our guest on the show today. This has been an absolute pleasure talking to you about one of my favorite topics, mindset. And I know that everyone's going to leave with some great tools and tips. So guys, catch us on the next episode of your holistic podcast. Thank you for watching and listening today.